This is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. And we have with us at WZRD, Kathy Powers. She is an activist on many fronts, and she is especially an activist on disability and accessibility issues. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, Wizard.
So, Kathy, you recently you were riding a CTA bus, and then what happened?
Last Thursday night, I was coming back from the mayor's meeting about the budget at Truman, the public meeting, on the 36 bus. I was getting on the 36 bus coming home at Wilson and Broadway, and I got on the bus, and the driver dropped the ramp for me to roll onto the bus. But he was in a hurry. He was in a hurry. He was in a very much hurry. He slammed the ramp closed, almost like right on my heels. Took his arm out to gesture me to hurry up to get on the bus. Get on the bus. And then he said, "I have to get down the street." And I just continued on my way, rolling on, and he took off. He took off. I wasn't even situated. I didn't get my walker in. Wasn't sitting down, and I went over backwards.
Oh.
I went over backwards, and he was in such a damn hurry. And the everyone was yelling and everything, and they had to tell him to stop the bus. He didn't even stop the bus after I fell. So, oh man, I just my wrist hurt, and I was kind of hurting all over. And I thought, oh, it's gonna be so much worse in the morning. I can't go to urgent care now. It's too late. That urgent care was closed. And I knew I was intact, and that I didn't have to go to the ER. So there was that. So my plans were to go to urgent care the next day, get my wrist x-rayed and checked out. Well, I slept till 5:30 at night. It just like, listen, when I fell down backwards, I lost control of my bodily functions. I mean, it was quite a fall. So I couldn't go to urgent care Friday either, but I did go Saturday. So I got, nothing's broken. And today I see my bruises are popping up here, there, and everywhere. I was really surprised that I was doing this today because I forgot everything. It knocked my socks off. I'm 73 years old.
Well, Kathy, we're glad that you weren't injured seriously, but that was such a dangerous fall. You could have hit your head, you could have broken something. It's and that was such a danger. I've gone on buses before, and bus drivers usually are so careful. They will not even move. They say hang on, or they'll wait. If someone's on in a walker, using a walker, they would usually they would wait until that person has sat down,
They're
or they
supposed to wait.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So,
you know, when you get older too, you know, it's not good. The way he took off, anybody would have fallen. You know,
exactly.
anybody who could stand well.
Mhm.
But when you get older, I don't know what happens. So something happens and you lose the ability to like hold on more, to have better traction. Like that's why when you see people getting on the bus, you know, we kind of trip around things because our balance is so poor. My balance is very poor, and I use a stand-up walker mainly because of the balance problem. Because if I weren't encased in this thing, I would fall over just just
Mhm.
standing. I'll just fall over.
Mhm.
So and because it is just a walker, you know, that's why I fell backwards. I think probably falling backwards would have been better than falling forward, is all I can say.
Mhm.
If
So
I
I
had
get.
to choose, I'd choose none.
Mhm. Did anybody help you get up?
All the passengers came, they helped me get up, and there was a seat right there, and they got me there, but I had to get up and lock my walker so it didn't fly in the aisle. I almost fell on people. I was really worried about that, but they were okay. It just happened so quickly, I couldn't tell. You know, I was flying. That's
Mhm.
kind of what I did. You know, that's how I fell backwards.
Mhm.
And now my shoulder is so sore. I just set the alarm so I could do this call because my shoulder's been hurting so much. It's been really hard to sleep.
Mhm.
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
Yes. Were you able, well, we won't keep you for long, Kathy, but I think your experience really helps educate our listeners about what might happen. And we have a lot of seniors out there and a lot of people with disabilities. And if it could happen to you, it could happen to them as well. What would your advice be for them? And did you contact the CTA?
I did contact the CTA. Whenever I always have issues with the CTA with the
Mhm.
buses and things, and I always send an email when something happens. I take pictures if I can because lately it seems like a lot of the buses don't have their inside display lights working. And some people will think, well, that's not such a big deal. Well, it is a big deal because I am hard of hearing.
Mhm.
And fortunately, the buses that I caught have been in areas where I know where I am.
Mhm.
But if I didn't know where I am, I can't hear when they say, when the audio comes on and tells us where we are.
Mhm.
And that's not always right either. Sometimes it's out of sync. Sometimes it tells you wrong.
Mhm.
So it is a big deal. And what I've been doing now when I send my emails to them is to also carbon copy my older person
Mhm.
because you know, this they're not checking the buses before they go out to see that they're working right. And you know, I get quicker responses when I do that. So, but I want them to know because I know Alder Haddon and Alder Lenny Hoppenworth, they were kind of pushing to get Dorval Carter out of the CTA because because it's a mess. It's a mess.
Mhm.
Uh, and I want to talk a little bit about that driver too. Like
Yes, please. Mhm.
I want to I would like to because I'll file a claim about this. Not that anything will happen because it's all soft tissue damage. Like there's nothing to be made whole except that I have a whole file of pictures of me being all bruised up from falling on the CTA one way or another. In fact, last winter I was getting on the train at Granville, and the wheels to my walker got caught between the platform and the car because of the gap.
Mhm.
Not only is there a gap, but there's like a step. There's a step up too.
Mhm.
And I was pushing because I didn't realize that my wheels were caught, and I went over, broke my walker, my $450 walker. I was fortunate that it was on warranty, a limited lifetime warranty. I don't really know what that means, but it covered me. But it took me like 4 months to get a new one, get somebody to put it together for me, and I have it together in time for the Disability Pride Parade. So I'm delighted about that. Well, something about the Disability Pride Parade, people may not know this. The night before the parade, we have an open mic in the Chicago Temple. So I went to that the night before, and we have a little bit of food, and we have a lot of entertainment. And we left at probably 8:30. And I rolled back to the red line to block 37, which is where the walkway is.
Mhm.
And the doors were locked. It was too late. They had locked the doors. So I thought, well, that's not a big deal. I know where the elevator is on State Street. So I rolled around the block to there, called the elevator, nothing. No
Oh.
response. Nothing happened. I waited. So then I called the elevator again and waited because, sometimes it gets caught up downstairs or something,
Mhm.
and nothing happened. So then I hit the call button to, ask for help. No answer.
Mhm.
This is at State Street between, this is, the Lake Street stop at the red line.
Mhm.
What I had to do was I had to roll up and around up onto Lake Street. I thought, well, I'll go to Clark Street that has an elevator there, take the brown line, and then transfer to the red line. Well, as I was walking there, a brown line train was going past above me, and I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait to get the brown line.
Mhm.
So I opted to take the 36 bus, the Broadway bus north, all the
Mhm.
way north.
Yes.
Taking the Broadway bus, I still have to transfer to Devon because I live in Rogers Park.
Mhm.
So I have to transfer to the Morse bus to get home.
Mhm.
And now it's getting later and later. I'm thinking, when does the last bus run? You don't know. I don't even know if they know, to be honest with you. But I did get a 36 bus, and I'll just say the only advantage to taking the 36 bus all the way north from downtown to Edgewater is that you get a seat. You get a seat right
Mhm.
away, and nobody gets your seat. So that's about it. I got home at 12:30 a.m. That's
Mhm.
how long it took me to get home
Mhm.
because I didn't have the accessibility. I just didn't have the. If I could walk up those stairs or walk down the stairs at the red line, I would have been fine. And
Mhm.
it's not right. There's only 2 stops downtown on the red line that have an elevator. And a lot of times, particularly Jackson is out, the Jackson elevator. Talk about the Jackson stop. The tunnel between the upper tunnel between Jackson and the blue line stop and the red line stop. It's been closed off. I don't know if it was collapsing or what, but it's been closed for a really long time.
You
The
mean years? For
redoing.
years?
Oh, probably a year,
Oh.
but I don't use it. But I no, I could never use it because, well, I could walk with the upper level, like from Jackson to Lake to between it's almost Randolph where the elevator is going down in the red line. It's just like, so, you know, that'd be the only reason why. That's a long walk. Let me tell you, that's a long walk.
It is.
I've noticed in the past, I couldn't get in the Jackson
Station?
the turnstile.
Oh.
They were taped off. Everything was taped off. And they had a guy there working on one of the turnstiles. And so I asked him if he could help me get in. Because they'd have to unlock the gate because I couldn't get through any turnstile and I couldn't get through the accessible turnstile. And he said, well, no, he said, I have nothing to do with that. I'm just here to ask the person in the station, over there, over there, everything's over there. And then look, there's nobody there. Downtown, and they complain about vandalism and stuff, and there's nobody there watching the store. You know, like, it just doesn't even make sense. And they don't care because it doesn't affect them. Dorville Carter probably has he's the CEO of CTA. And he probably, I think they tracked him. They like, he's ridden the CTA like 3 hours in his entire CEO-ship. Because they can monitor when he goes through in and out, and like, you'll see pictures of him sometimes, like getting onto a train or something. It's a photo op. He may not even be riding that train. That might be photo op day. So I don't know. So I did a little research on Dorville Carter.
And what'd you find?
Well, he has a value to CTA in that he's been there a really long time and he can get a lot of funding federally. He knows who to ask and how to get it and stuff. So I say leave him there, but make another position for a CEO type to have daily operational systems oversight. Be the big guy there and actually do something in that direction. A financial guy is not the guy to run the CTA. That's not a transportation function, although of course finances always is. So that's my solution, and nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to Kathy Powers. So,
well, you have the reasonable positions and suggestions. They're not very special interest suggestions. So maybe that's those are the suggestions that they should consider, because you're writing the CTA. You have disabilities, and that population that does have disabilities and that are seniors is increasing. Maybe one of these days we should find out just what those numbers are and present them to the CTA, because that's a big segment of the their ridership that they need to serve.
I do know that a lot of my senior friends and persons with disabilities friends really don't like to ride the train. They'll ride the bus. And they'll ride the bus for hours. Listen, I have to get places. I have to go somewhere. I'm 73 years old. My time is running out. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry to get to do what I'm doing. So, I'm looking here. What is that? Do you see that? See that?
You mean this
The black bar.
yes, I do. Is that part of maybe the walker?
Oh, I see what it is. It's a cord. It's in front of my
Oh, okay.
my camera, because the
I
cat
got it.
knocked it. The cat knocked
Yes.
it.
Well, your cat wanted to get into the picture, and your
He's
cat knew.
here. He's
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, he knows that you're upset, and He wants
Oh,
to comfort you, that's all.
yeah, I'm paying attention to you.
Mhm. And then, of
Yeah.
course, I guess I have to lay on top of the keyboard too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right,
So,
Kathy, so is there anything else that you've been doing concerning advocacy on accessibility that you want to that you feel like sharing with us today?
well, before I went to urgent care Saturday, I went
Mhm.
downtown to the Action for Sonia Massey,
Mm-hmm.
a lady who was called the police to ask for help. She thought somebody was in her yard, and the police came and when they came in, like they shot her in her head dead, and it's on camera in Springfield, in our state, in Springfield. And the video is out. I warn people, it's very upsetting. You know, take my word for it, it's very upsetting. So I did go to that. My wrist was pounding and everything, but I thought I have to do this. I have to show up. I have to show up for this. It's so wrong. And
Oh,
while I was there, I was talking to some people who were from Springfield. They were just in for the day, and I was talking to them. They said, I said, Springfield is our state capital. And I've been down there advocating for different things. And I said, I'm always struck when we pull into Springfield, how poor and tattered Springfield is. The people where people live, they're barely more than shacks. And you would think for the state capital to look like that, they would dress it up a little bit. If they can sweep people off the street for nothing because they're not pretty, the people just living their lives, they can at least dress up the state capitol. So I'm going to recommend it to Kelly Cassidy. Fix up Springfield. What the guy said down there, he said this is just one of the things people, it's terrible down there. They stripped most of Springfield. They gentrified one area and stripped the other areas of any wealth that they had. So that's a story of Springfield, and people are afraid down there. They don't want to say boo to anybody because, of course, it is a state capital. If they do say boo to anybody, there'll be retaliation one way or another. So, as Sonia Massey showed us.
well, you're when they the area where they took that they left that gentrification did not occur, and then that were left poor. Do you know what the demographics are for that part of Springfield?
I don't know specifically. I kind of know from what I've seen looking out my window from the bus coming in, usually people of color, poor people of color is what I saw. That's not a statistic, that's an observation. Of course, I wasn't in every area that was not gentrified, but that seems to be the case everywhere.
Got it.
I see my cat has a whole camera now.
That's okay. He just wants to be close to you, that's all. Yeah,
Yeah, she does.
yes. All right, Kathy. So what did you have to file, so you emailed the CTA. Usually, do they respond to your complaints at all? Do they acknowledge or say that they'll do something? What is
They
the usual
acknowledge
response?
receipt. They acknowledge receipt of my complaint, and
Mm-hmm.
they sent me back a phone number to call to file a claim. And like, I don't know, it just seems kind of half-assed to me. But
Did you?
and what am I going to claim? What am I going to claim? I have a whole file load of pictures of me bruised up from one kind of fall on the CTA to another.
Mhm.
And except for the walker breaking on the train, all of my falls had to do with buses.
Mm. So,
And that's all the buses are supposedly accessible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they're not, because they're
Yeah.
you have to stand, you have that stand up walker, and there's not enough room in the front there for that walker, right? Unless you take up that wheelchair space. Is
That's
that it?
right.
Mhm.
And then the new design of the buses where they're just straight seats along the side. There's nothing going horizontal. They're all vertical.
Mhm.
Well, they are designed for wheelchairs. You have to lift 3 seats up, and then if you have a wheelchair, you can pull back in and lock your wheelchair in, and you'd be okay.
Oh.
With my walker, it's a different story.
Mhm.
Because I would still have to lift up, you know, if I'm lucky enough to have the room during rush hour, it doesn't even work.
Mhm.
To pull up the 3 seats, pull the walker in, then sit behind it and hold on to the walker over the seat blocking so I can sit safely. And they said, well, why don't you just sit in your walker? You know, like, well, I don't sit in my walker because my walker is not great for sitting, because when I get up, the wheels turn and I can fall very easily just getting up out of the walker. Because the brakes are just on the little wheels in the back, and the big wheels in the front twist and turn. They're you can't lock them. If I could lock them, that would be really good. It would help me a lot, but it doesn't. So I did once try it, because I always, when people say to do something, I try it once.
Mhm.
Don't say that I didn't try, that that I'm just not trying. No, I tried, and I started rolling across the aisle when the bus was in motion. So I knew that wasn't any good.
Mhm.
When there's too many people for me to do that, because now with that bus, I'm taking up 4 seats. I'm not taking up 3 seats. I'm taking up 4 seats.
Mhm.
So what I do during rush hour, I pull my walker back as far as I can underneath the front seat. And so I don't stick out in the aisle too much, but then I have to sit next to my walker, because if I pull it in and I'm there, I can't pull it all the way in
Right.
as far.
Mhm.
So I pull it in, and it's it, and then people glower at me. But the bar of my walker, like, always bumps into my leg. So I always end up being bruised just
Mhm.
from that. But that's how, like, the 147, most of their buses are like that. And I
Mhm.
have to take the 147. If I'm not taking 155, I have to take 147.
Mhm.
Just coincidentally, for people listening, I live at Morse and the Red Line. I can see the platform from my apartment window, but I can't take the Red Line from here. I have to take a bus around to the Loyola station to get on the train where there's an elevator.
Mhm. And how?
Or alternatively, to walk over, take the 147 north to Howard and get on there. But the elevators are out a lot at Howard Street too. It's a problem. It's a
Mhm.
problem lately. Another thing that really irks me, even talking about my accident at Granville. I got off the train at Howard last week, I think it was. I carry a ruler with me now, actually, Trudy, and I measured the distance, how high up the car was from the platform. It was 8 inches.
Oh my
8
gosh.
inches.
Mhm.
That's a step. If I had a wheelchair, I wouldn't have been able to get off there. There is such a thing called a gap filler, and you have to tell them at the station when you get on that you need this gap filler. And the gap filler is a ramp. It's a fold up ramp, and they unlock it. They have one at each station. They unlock it, roll it out, put it on the train. You roll in and roll out whatever you need, and then they have to fold it back up, drag it over, and lock it again. If a station person can do that, it's faster. But if there isn't somebody there to do it, the operator has to do it.
Mhm.
So he has to leave the train, get off, and everybody has to wait. And it probably takes 15 minutes.
Mm.
So if you wonder why the train's late, it's probably because, well, either that or signal problems, a lot of signal problems. But you know, it's because the system is broken. That's why. That's why you're waiting.
Mhm. And you mentioned before that the elevators, you kind of help keep track of which elevators are out of service, right? So on the whole, for the entire CTA, what percentage would you say of the elevators are broken daily?
I would say I used to keep track of them and put it up on Facebook every time I saw one, but then Facebook started slamming me for spam that I just posting too much. So I stopped doing that. But if there's something important to say, I will. Like right now, I didn't answer your question yet, but I'll get there. The Wilson elevator is out. Now, the Wilson elevator is a very important stop.
Mhm.
There are 3 buses that go past there. It's in the center of Uptown, and you know, it's a big hub. It's a big hub. I don't know why the elevator is out, except that I imagine it's being overused because because they've been modernizing the tracks. They've only been using one side of the elevator for the traffic coming and going, north and south. So it's been using twice as much as it was built to do.
Mhm.
So I mean, like you go to Wilson now, and there's this big, they have wood around it. It's a big deal. They're doing a big deal with it.
Mhm.
Fortunately, if people don't know this, and people who are listening, if you want to use the elevator at Wilson, you can't. But you can get on, you can get out of the station. At the other end, at the south end of the station, are ramps that you can go down. And I'll tell you about the ramps. You go down, it's like walking 3 blocks. You walk down one ramp that's a block. Then you walk down another ramp that's a block. And then you walk down another ramp that's a block.
Mhm.
But you can get out. There's a turnstile, you can get out, you can get in there if you're so inclined. I did walk it up once, and I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die because it's a very steep incline. It's
Mhm.
doable, and people need to know that. And you think they'd put up a sign there. They just put up a sign that the elevator's out of order. Kind of like, it's out of order, tough luck. Right? They don't say tough luck, but they might as well. Why don't they say elevators are out of service? Go around the block to Sunnyside and come in that entrance. You can get in that way if you need accessibility. But
Mhm.
no, they don't do that. And I only know that because one night I got off the train. I was in a hurry going to a writing group that I facilitate at Bazadian Library, and I had decided that I take the train to Wilson, which is fast. I get on it little, you take it Wilson, and then take the Broadway bus up north to Ainsley. Well, I got off the train at Wilson, and the elevator wasn't working, and it wasn't announced either. It wasn't on. That happens a lot. That
Mhm.
happens a lot. That an elevator's not working, and it either hasn't been reported, or for some reason it doesn't get on the network. I get notices. People can get notices. If you need to know if the elevators are working, go to CTA Transit Chicago. Wait, let me make sure I'm getting this right.
Okay.
Uh, www.transitchicago.com /alerts
Mhm.
/ and on that page there are latest updates, L train alerts, bus system alerts, elevator alerts, weekly upcoming plan changes.
Mhm.
And like I said, and when you're on there, they offer you the opportunity to get these alerts either by text or by email or by both. I get both because I have to really pay attention.
And are they accurate? When they say that an elevator is out of service, are there elevators that are out of service but don't get the alert?
Yes.
And
I've
yeah, that's a big problem because if there were a person such as a senior or a person with disability and they uh, traveled a long way to get to that station, only to find that the station's elevator is not working. Do they have the option to use the escalator if they hang on, or is there if they're in a wheelchair, they can't use the escalator?
No, I
Mm-hmm.
tried it. I tried it once at Roosevelt with my walker,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell.
Oh.
I got like a third of the way up, and I didn't know if my wheels turned or if it got narrower or something, and my walker was caught, flipped over my head
Mm-hmm.
backwards. And if it weren't for the wonderful people of Chicago, they caught me, they stopped the escalator, they brought me down. I felt like a damn fool. I had to go to the ER to be checked out again. And yeah, I hope Medicare starts charging them really for all these trips. I was okay, but boy,
Yes.
that was really scary. But I learned my
Definitely.
lesson. I'm not going to try again.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yes. That's if it could happen to you, Kathy, it happen to other people too, and we just might not know about it. That's all.
That's why I'm here, to
Mm-hmm.
let people know. That's why I'm here.
For the annunciator, when people, truck drivers, they have to do all these checks before they start moving the truck. Uh, do you know if bus drivers they're supposed to make sure that the annunciator is working because that's very important. If you get if the person, if the rider is not familiar with the route, that person could get lost or overshoot a stop and then have to walk back very far. If the person has a disability, that's not conducive to walking. That's a problem.
That's right. That's right. The visual one is a lot more important than people think.
Hmm.
Originally, I was just kind of annoyed because I was, in my own area and I knew where I was, but I was annoyed because I look up and I wouldn't know what time it was. So
Oh.
then, like, you have to drag out your phone to find out. And at least now we have a phone we can drag out and find out what time it is.
Hmm.
But uh, that's when I noticed that, there was nothing up there. And
Hmm.
then I thought, oh, I don't know. And then so it kept happening. It kept happening. Like probably, I think there's like three buses that on the Route 155 that don't have that working at one time or another. As
Hmm.
I report these, and I report them every time, I take pictures now of the display not working. So
Hmm.
then I get an email back, and they always say, well, sometimes the display doesn't go on if the bus is stopped or the driver isn't on the thing. Was the bus moving? The one time I said the display never came on.
Hmm.
What does never mean? Never means when it was moving or
Exactly.
not moving. So I just said, okay, I'll just tell you every time that the bus is moving and it's still not on. I
Hmm.
won't say never anymore because obviously that's too hard for them to understand.
Yes, because
And it makes me mad. It makes me
course.
mad. I have a life other than reporting things to CTA, but
Right.
not much of a life anymore. It's taking up too much time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because when they're working, they work whether the bus is stopped or not. You see the flashing messages while the bus is at a red light.
Yeah, you know what though? I've noticed lately that the display does go out a lot of times when like the buses stops and people are getting off.
Oh,
And then when we start going again, comes back on. But it seems like to me, maybe because I'm just really paying attention to it, that's taking a much longer time for it to come back on. I,
mhm.
I don't know what that deal is.
Oh.
Maybe they don't pay the electricity bill. I don't know.
Well, there was once when I was on a bus and there were a couple of buses and I was coming over to Wizard a couple of weeks ago, and my bus did not have any electricity, no lights, and then noticed another bus going by next to ours, which was dark as well. The bus was moving, but the lights were off. And it was in the daytime, but even in the daytime, buses are lighted inside.
Yeah.
So let me see. There's one enunciator, the elevators, and oh,
Oh, I'll answer your question. I can tell you right now, every day I notice at least 8 elevators that are out.
mhm,
I also noticed from my notices that now, like, it appears that they're checking the elevators every day to see if they're working. So, particularly in the middle of the night, God bless those elevator fixers. They're getting really good. So
mhm,
they'll take down an elevator for a couple hours. They'll say elevator's not working, and then they'll say the elevator's working again.
mm,
So they're checking them. They're doing a better job. They are doing a better job. Bless you, elevator listeners, fixers. You fixers, thank you, thank you, thank you.
mm.
But my question, yeah, but then we have the elevator like at Wilson. Now, how long ago was that station built at Wilson? Not that long ago. It's a brand new station.
Mhm,
And it's but like I said, it hasn't been used fairly either.
mhm.
It probably would have lasted twice as long if we don't weren't. But the other side was fine when we were using it both ways. But then when they switched over, I don't know.
You mean at first both elevators were working, and then later under this construction of the RPM, they closed one side of the one of the
Yes,
elevators. Mm.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
well, I guess they don't plan for it to be a long time, but it might be a couple of years that they'll be doing that. Meanwhile, like you said, that the elevator will have twice the amount of wear, and then it'll uh, need repairs sooner than it would have.
Right, right. And I would just want to say, as a matter of kindness to everybody, if you see somebody who's taking the elevator, doesn't have a wheelchair, doesn't have a walker, appears to be fine, maybe they're not. Maybe they do have a disability. Maybe they have balance problems. Maybe they have other things that you can't even see. Maybe they have a mental health issue that they're afraid. They're afraid to take the stairs. Maybe they feel it's not safe to take the stairs for what's going on because it's a big city. It's a big city and things happen.
Mhm.
Don't be shaming people, and just tell yourself that this person has a good reason why they need to take the elevator. So be kind, everybody.
Thank you for that, Kathy. That's very important. If people want to learn more about uh, how to better deal with the CTA, any problems, and where to complain, or maybe even where to send compliments, where should they go? And how do they learn more?
Well, Keep listening to Wizard. I'll keep coming back as long as
Okay.
you have me. I'll keep coming back and share my alert. My
Yes,
my visit. So right now, well, I can't get through the bus alerts. A lot of a lot of rerouting because the convention's coming to town.
Mhm.
The convention is coming to town, and just like with NASCAR, they're busy downtown, making it more beautiful than it already is. Right now, there's it's not telling me. Oh, sign up for the alerts. Here you go. Here you go.
Okay.
Sign up. At https://public dot gov delivery GOVDELIVERY.com /accounts /I L C T A /subscriber /new.
Okay, awesome. Well,
And then you get an option of subscription type, email or text message. And I did both, so.
okay.
And then you just put your address in there, and then let's see. Let me do a text thing. No, let me do an email thing because I got more than one email address. So I can tell you what happens.
Okay.
Because I know then they tell you other things too.
Mhm.
You can choose what routes you want to look at, or if you want the elevators.
Elevator updates. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, you're there already, right?
No.
um. I'm slow. My hand isn't working that well because of my shoulder. Oh, and then they want you to confirm your email address. Let's see if I can do a cut and paste. Yes.
Okay.
And then it asks me, you have to make a password.
Mhm.
Oh, then you have to do a that to prove you're a human being.
Yes,
I
not a
can't
robot.
I can't do that, but you maybe can.
Okay, Kathy, that sounds great. That's later. Please send me the link, and then we'll include the link in our description of this interview.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay,
I hope it helps some people.
Well, this information needs to go out. Writers need to know that they need to be careful and just be aware that if something like this could happen to you, luckily for me, I've seen that a lot of bus drivers are very careful, but unfortunately, there are bus drivers that such as the one that you had to deal with. So hopefully, in the future, there will be fewer incidents like this, hopefully. But just be careful, Kathy. Everybody out there, just be careful, be aware of your surroundings, and just do the best you can. It's
And
and
you don't have to be cheerful, just don't be mean. How
mhm,
about that?
yes.
Be kind, be kind.
Mhm. All right, Kathy Powers, thank you so much for joining us on WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM today. We appreciate you.